Welcome back, guys. I am your host, Danielle Hancock, and this week on Faithful and Grateful, we will be talking about gossiping, how easy it is to fall into this trap, and how God commands us to stop talking about others. The Bible views gossiping as destructive and a serious sin. Gossiping as the ability to ruin relationships, destroy trust, and to fracture communities. That seems pretty serious to me. Proverbs 16:28 says, a perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. I have gossiped myself in many different settings, with older women than me, with younger women than me, with women of the same age as me. It just seems like that's what we like to do. I mean, there are shows, Gossip Girls. I love that. Now, I would not watch that show to save my life. Of course, my views have changed, but I always liked a good gossip. Love to talk about things that were going on, things that weren't productive. I was very much involved with that scene. And I'm not saying it was right. Obviously, it was not right. But I lived in a different time of my life then. I was not convicted of this. I probably knew in the back of my mind that it wasn't right to talk about other people. It wasn't right to have an opinion on things that really weren't any of my business. And I did it anyway. I wasn't following Christ. I didn't know the Bible. Whenever I was with my girlfriends, you were talking about somebody. Whenever I was with my family members, you were talking about somebody. So I've been very involved in this in my life. I have been a gossip. I have loved to sit down and hear people talk about other things and other situations and other people. You never felt good about it afterwards. You never felt like, whoa, that was something that was right to do. It's happening in the world, of course, all around us. Even in the Christian community, you can find yourself in situations where you're sitting and you're talking about other people, and you really shouldn't be doing that. It's a sin. God does not like a gossip. And I have been convicted of this in recent years. I've still fallen into the trap in recent years. When you're sitting down and all of a sudden something comes up and you just find yourself in that conversation that you should not be in. And afterwards you feel like, whoa, everyone seems to love a good story that doesn't involve themselves. And in my experience, someone else is talking to you about a particular person. Chances are they're going to the next person and they're talking about you. It destroys relationships. Even in your marriage, you shouldn't be talking about your husband to other people. If your husband done something that you didn't like or annoyed you in some way, we aren't called to go and talk about that to other people. Our marriage should be a communication between a husband and a wife where you sit down and you talk this over with your husband and you don't down him, or a husband don't down his wife to other people. We should keep that privately between ourselves. Obviously, if you're in abusive relationship, you should report those things. But I'm saying in general, if your husband annoys you, you shouldn't really go out and tell other people what that annoyance is. Even if it's your closest friend that you're telling it to, you are betraying the trust of your marriage, and you should keep those things between yourselves and work on those things between yourselves. Luke 6:45 says, a good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. So when you really think about that, it really makes you stop and think, my goodness, if my heart speaks what my mouth is full of, then it's really about an art posture. And if you are a Christian and you are actively talking and gossiping about other people or putting yourself in situations that are really none of your concern, then you need a heart check. And I've been there. I've needed a heart check. I've ignored that voice in my head that says, don't do this, after I talk about someone or engage in conversation that someone else started up. It's wrong. And I know that now. I'm not saying that I still don't fall sometimes, but conviction is real. God changes you, and you need to ask God to reveal your heart to you and change the things that he just does not like. Romans 1:29-30 says, they have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. God views gossiping as a very serious sin. He has put the word gossip, us talking about other people or involving ourselves in situations that aren't ours to be involved in, he has put this in a list with murder. It's wicked, it's evil, greed, envy, strife, deceit, and malice. God-haters. Gossip is in a list where God describes people who are God-haters. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in that list. I want to do everything that is pleasing to the Lord. And I know that we fall short, and I know that we make mistakes, but we should not be going around and being proud of being a gossip. When you know that you've done wrong, you need to come to God and you need to ask for forgiveness. So what do we do to stop it? Well, first of all, when you hear that small, still voice, that whisper in your ear or in your conscience that nudges you when you are going to go to talk about someone or get yourself involved with a situation that is not yours to be involved with, or comment on something on Facebook, and you hear that still whisper, that nudge inside of you, well, that's the Holy Spirit. And he is telling you not to do that. And you and I, as Christians, need to listen and obey the Holy Spirit and stop and don't do it. Before you utter words about other people, when you feel that nudge in your soul, in your being, then just obey it. Think before you speak. Don't bring other people into the drama with you. Involving other people just makes things worse. If you are already caught up in drama and you bring someone else into that drama on purpose, then you are destroying relationships. You are hurting someone else. Don't involve other people into the drama that you've found yourself in. I am reading a book currently. It's called Becoming Mom Strong, and it is written by Heidi St. John. And this book I highly recommend, especially as a mom, to read, even if you're a mom of teenagers or a mom of children who are out of the nest. I would highly recommend for you to read this book. It's helped me in a lot of ways, and she's very real and she's very sincere. I also actually read her devotional. So it's a mom devotional, a devotional every day, and it's really beautiful, and it's a really good devotional book to read. But in this, Heidi St. John says, use the stop, drop, and roll method. So we all know the stop, drop, and roll method that you were taught in high school on how to save yourself from a fire. This is a totally different method. So in this case, it means stop, drop it, and roll on out of here. And this is how she puts it. Do you need to be involved in the conversation? If the answer is no, then stop. Don't get involved in the conversation. Are you bringing up past hurts and dragging people down? If the answer is yes, then drop it. There's no purpose for you here. There's nothing more for you to do. Drop it and move on. Does the environment you're in encourage drama and strife? If the answer is yes, if your group of friends loves drama, then roll on out of there. Don't involve yourself in that kind of drama. I've found myself in situations where I've had friendships who really, really love drama. There's not a single time that you get together and they're talking about somebody. They love to see people hurting. They strive for it. It gives them energy. Those people need our prayers. I have had friendships that strive off of drama. And you try to stop it. You try not to involve yourself in the conversations that they're having. Somehow it just rolls in on you, and you're all of a sudden knee deep in these conversations that you should not be in. So it needs to stop. And if the only way that you can stop yourself from sinning and disobeying God, then it's time to exit. It's not a place to be if it's bringing you into a spot where you are talking about other people. If someone loves drama, then roll on out of there, guys. If it's not constructive, it doesn't help others, if it's talking down on others, if it doesn't benefit anyone in any way, then it's not something to engage in. It's been easier lately to walk away from gossiping situations where you walk into a room and, there's a few people who are talking about other people. And sometimes I've said, I'm not going to engage in this. Other times I've just took myself completely out of the situation and have walked away from friendships because of that. I love you and I'll pray for you, but I am not going to engage in this kind of behavior. If you are in a situation where you think that it's okay because this happened to you, if it's not productive, if it's helping no one, if there was no benefit to it whatsoever, then you probably just should have stayed at home and prayed about it, because God will heal those situations. Talking about it to someone else is not going to heal those situations. I mean, I think it's okay to tell your story and things that have happened to you without bringing someone else down. But, if it's an abusive situation, then you do need to talk about those things. God is gracious, and he extends his grace to everyone. So praying is the best option in all scenarios. It's not healthy to gossip. It helps no one. It only destroys people, relationships, and it's just not a place that I personally want to be in anymore. I only want to do things that is pleasing to God. He has done so much to me, for me, and I just want to please him in every way. And if I fall short and I make a mistake and I find myself saying things or doing things that I should not be doing, then when I am convicted of that, I need to say, God, forgive me, and try to not do that again. Try better next time and learn from your mistakes. Let God change your heart posture into a place that's pleasing to him. I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. Thank you for being here. I hope you come back again next week for another episode. And until then, remember, be faithful, remain grateful, and stay truthful.